Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will review 10 word banknotes under the UV light. So let's start with our first banknote. This is Brazil 5 Cruzeiros. This bill was circulated in the year 1962. This is very old UNC bill. Let's put it under the UV light. Under the UV light, I can see two dots here, one here and one here. In light yellow color is getting reflected. Let's check the reverse side of this bill. Brazil 5 Cruzeiros. This is the reverse side without UV light. Let's check it under the UV light now. I can see four dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe there are many other dots. Here, here, here. Very light yellow dots are getting reflected under the UV light. So this was Brazil 5 Cruzeiros. Let's check our next bill. Our next bill is Mexico 5 Pesos. This bill was circulated in the year 1971. This is the front side of this bill. Let's check it under the UV light. This pattern in the middle is getting reflected under the UV light. You can see it here. Let's check the reverse side of Mexico 5 Pesos. This is the reverse side of Mexico 5 Pesos without UV light. Let's put it under the UV light now. There is no reflection under the UV light. I don't see any special pattern here getting reflected under the UV light. Let's check our next bill. This is the front side of Mexico 1000 pesos. This was circulated in the year 1984. Here you can see the year 1984. Let's check it under the UV light. Serial number is getting reflected under the UV light. Here you can see some dots in red color here, 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 and here, here. Let's check the reverse side of Mexico 1000 pesos. This is the reverse side of 1000 pesos Mexico without UV light. Let's put it under the UV light now. Same dots are getting reflected. The dots that were reflected in the reverse side of this bill. Here, here, here. Let's check our next bill in this series. This is Kuwait 1/4 dinar, quarter dinar. Front side without UV light. Let's check it under the UV light. This pattern is getting reflected here at the bottom, golden color, and here also there's a reflection in golden color, plus this part is getting reflected in the golden color, and on the left also there's a reflection in the golden color. Let's check the reverse side of Kuwait quarter dinar. This is the reverse side. Let's check it under the UV light now. You can see here, I believe this is a serial number that is getting reflected under the UV light, plus this portion, this block with number 1/4, I believe this is Arabic language, is getting reflected under the UV light. Let's check our next bill. This is Kyrgyzstan 20 som, front side. This was circulated in year 2009. This is the front side of Kazakhstan 20 som. Let's check it under the UV light. This middle portion is getting reflected. If you see here, without UV light, this color is not visible, but if you put it under the UV light here, this complete portion is getting reflected in light yellow color. and the serial number on the top is getting reflected under the UV light. Let's check the reverse side of 20 som Kazakhstan bill. This is the reverse side. This is also a very colorful bill. This portion is getting reflected. Number 20 in dark red color is getting reflected. This middle portion is getting reflected, and this block is getting reflected. So basically there are lots of security markings that are getting reflected under the UV light on this bill. Let's check our next bill. This is Kuwait half dinar front side. This was circulated in the year 1968 to 1994. Kuwait half dinar front side. The top pattern is getting reflected under the UV light here, and bottom pattern here, and slight reflection is here on this side, on the right. Let's check the reverse side of Kuwait half dinar. This is the reverse side of Kuwait half dinar. Serial number on the top is getting reflected. Here this block is getting reflected. I believe this is a bird, some logo with a bird here is getting reflected, and I see here serial number is getting reflected with very light color vertically here, you can see. Let's check our next bill. This is Kazakhstan 10 Tyin bill. Front side of Kazakhstan 10 Tyin. This was circulated in the year 1993. Let's put it under the UV light. So this portion is getting reflected. If you see this bottom portion and this portion, this pattern in color yellow is getting reflected. Let's see it under the normal light, though yellow color is still here, but it is getting reflected in under the UV light, this portion and this portion. Let's check the reverse side of Kazakhstan 10 Tyin. This is the reverse side. Let's put it under the UV light. Same, this circle is getting reflected with a very light yellow reflection, and number 10 I can see on the top left and right. I don't see the serial number getting reflected. Let's double check it. Serial number is not getting reflected. Let's check our next bill. This is Kazakhstan 1 Tenge front side without UV light. Let's put it under the UV light. This pattern on the right is getting reflected, and number 1 in the middle is getting reflected, plus some ultraviolet dots all over the bill are getting reflected on the front side of Kazakhstan 1 Tenge bill. Let's check the reverse side of this bill. This is the reverse side of this bill. It has a beautiful background pattern. Let's check it under the UV light now. This pattern is getting reflected under the UV light, plus same dots are getting reflected all over the bill on the back side. Let's check our next bill. This is Kazakhstan 3 Tenge. This was circulated in the year 1993. Here you can see the year. Front side without UV light, Kazakhstan 3 Tenge. Let's check it under the UV light. Oh, there's a very good reflection under the UV light. This pattern, the top, bottom, number 3 with some background is getting reflected. Let's check it under the UV light now. Sorry, let's check the reverse side of this bill now. This is the reverse side of Kazakhstan 3 Tenge 1993 issue. Some dots all over the bill are getting reflected, but there is no special pattern on the reverse side under the UV light. Let's check our last bill in this series. This is Paraguay 1 Guarani, issued in the year 1952. This is also a very old bill in uncirculated condition, and the paper quality of this bill is also very good. This is Paraguay 1 Guarani, circulated in 1952, front side without UV light. Let's put it under the UV light now. No reflection or slight reflection is there. In this portion I can see there's a slight reflection in a yellow color under the UV light. And that yellow color I don't see it without UV light. Here if you can see, this part is getting reflected under the UV light. Let's check the reverse side of Paraguay 1 Guarani. This is the reverse side of Paraguay 1 Guarani bill. There's no reflection on the reverse side of this bill. This is very old bill. So as I said earlier, in many old bills we don't have many patterns that are getting reflected, but sometimes we do see some small dots that are getting reflected or some background patterns that are getting reflected in old bills, like 50-60 years old bill. So this was the last bill in this series. So guys, if you like this video, please subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye bye, take care.